Charley back in Jamestown with another merchant, and this is really neat. This is Charley's Books in Galleria here right on Main Street, and with me I got Charley. Charley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, good. So tell me about your store.
I usually try and show people different parts of my store, so why don't you come along here?
Thank you. Now, Charley, how long have you been open?
In this location, I've been open for 3 years, but I had a bookstore since 1978 in this area. I've done I specialize in books on Gold Rush history, Western history, women of the West, gunfighters, but we have a lot of other stuff to do too.
Okay, now what do you got there?
Right here, I wonder if the camera can catch
Oh, you
this.
betcha.
It's called Waddle. And you open it up.
Ah!
This is our Mark Twain section. Mark Twain, it's his 175th anniversary of his birth, and it's the 100th anniversary of his death. So he was born on the same day and died on the same day. And then we have a section on our famous Elvis and the Beatles and Marilyn Monroe, especially with Marilyn Monroe paper doll book. And we have a big section on railroad books. Some are new and some are used or collectible. Okay, we have a music section, and we specialize in this is songs of the Gold Rush. What they were singing. John Southern Gold Rush, and they have comic book versions, or right now they call them graphic novels, or graphic books on the Donner Party or Railroad or Pony Express, and so there's a large selection of that sort of thing. What they call choose your own adventure. The person, the young adult, that reads this book and makes choices for the character. There's 2 story paths. They make 54 choices. Things like, whether they go north or south, what form of transportation to take. And depending on their choices, there's 14 different endings. So when they reach the end, then they can go back and say, well, what if I would have done this? And you'll probably come to a different ending. And it's all based on true things that happen to people going along the Gold Rush. He came anyway. He wanted to see for himself. And he had been to Borneo the year before and written a book about that. He'd been in the Navy since he was about 14. He was only about 20 years old, 18 to 20, when he was out here. And he even has a chapter where he starts off saying, I'm going to tell you all about the mechanics of gold, the Gold Rush, how to get gold. But there's probably only 3 of you want to read about it, so the rest of you can skip this chapter. So I think he had a sense of humor, and it shows you the excitement of the time of being there when all these things were happening. But there's the Irish, the Italians, the Chinese, the French, the Japanese. Everybody came.
Outstanding.
These are all about the women, rather. I shouldn't say girls, that's for sure. There's upstairs girls, there's bad girls, there's Dr. Wore Petticoats is interesting. The first women physicians in the Old West. And I love that picture where they're looking at the old skeleton. And there's one about the first women miners. The lady was a gambler. Of course, the bestseller of all time, Soil Doves. That has sold more than any other book I've ever had.
Well, wasn't Jamestown really a prostitution gathering here?
Well, there were quite a few places out here in Sonora and Jamestown. And I believe it was on all the way up to the 50s.
I tell you, Charley, amazing. There's a lot more here than reading a book. You're making it fun.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best to get people to come, and I'm getting them from all different areas, and I get a lot of people from Europe and they're interested in the Old West as well.
So right down here on Jamestown on the main street, and it's Charley's Books and Galleria.
Thank you for coming. Hope to see some of you out here, and I'll show you some more books. I've got books on other subjects as well, and nature and World War II and everything.
Great, thank you, Charley.